Emails. Every day we write them. We put so little thought about them. Sometimes there are emails with no subject. There are emails that has paragraph, thousands of words. Let's change that. Welcome back to PhD Coffee Time. This is the online community for you as PhD student to get motivation, peer support, and practical tips during your PhD. Having worked in the industry for almost a year now, I want to share a thing or two what I have learned, how you should be writing your professional email. Because I think there are so many people who are not very efficient using emails. I have already spoken about how ineffective email causes time and is so-called time debt. Time that is spent writing that email that will make you spend even more time to clarify yourself or making other people spend time reading it and figuring out what you meant. To be effective, writing email is going to save you time, and you don't have a lot of time in PhD, so let's get to it and make sure you write effective email. A few tips that I will highlight today include formatting tips, how you structure your email, and a few basic language tips that I think are suitable for all season, and you will thank yourself for taking the effort to standardize the way you write email, because a lot of conflicts are coming up because people are not writing careful and clear emails, and they come back as so-called a time debt. Many of us are non-native English speaker, but I think American English is the best language in effective communication, because Chinese people, they have poem, metaphors, analogy. We don't get to the point. American people, they will tell you what they will tell you, what they are telling you in the main context, and then they end by what I have told you. And this is actually what we should be writing in every email, is to start with I'm writing because of this problem, and then you are clarifying bullet points of what you're telling them. In summary, what I have told you is an action is what. And one biggest trap people have is we are thanking people too early in the email. I still need to remind myself these days to make sure not to start my email using an apology or a thank you, because even I mean them, it doesn't help the reader. And remember, an email is a piece of reading material that someone needs to quickly go through it. They might have 50 other competing emails for their interest, so you really need to get to the point. I think it is really helpful when you are structuring the email in this effective way, getting to the point. What if you have a more complex situation and you really want to explain yourself? To show you a counter example, I am going to open up with you guys my terrible email novels. And I have a series called Dear Lisa, because Lisa was my property manager back in the US. Because I'm an introverted, really shy type of tenant, I try not to bother people whenever I could. So when something really happened, I found it really difficult to write an email to Lisa. So here's how the email reads. Dear Lisa, good evening. I'm sorry to bother you with my eventful evening. My kitchen tap handle suddenly came off while I was preparing dinner, and the hot water came out quickly and forcefully, shooting all the way to the ceiling. Luckily, I found the main switch underneath the sink soon enough and managed to turn off the water before there was a huge flood in the house. After the cleanup and some research, I realized the reason of the incident was caused by an old metal-turned cartridge within the handle. As you can see in the photo, the cartridge got quite corroded over its life of service. Hopefully, this part is not too costly to be replaced. I think the handle is still reusable. Please be assured that my night was still actually quite functional. I found ways to hand wash my dishes with other water sources in the house. So I think this problem is not as urgent as it seems like. Therefore, I would still appreciate your help in coordinating a repair to my kitchen tap, perhaps by early next week. Hopefully, the snow goes away by then. I hope this will be a straightforward problem and won't be too inconvenient for your team. Many thanks, Vera. This was written on a Friday evening, Saturday 3 a.m. And of course, Lisa has sent someone the next day in the snow to fix it, because they are really good management team. If I could teach my 2017 self to rewrite this email, I would try to save Lisa from the confusion. Lisa see this, she will know this is which address and what is the repair needed. If Lisa is in a good mood and want to listen to my novel, she can read the context. If she is in a hurry, she can always look at the bold fonts, underline action needed, and quickly find what she needs to do for her job. So I'm not inconveniencing her by having her read every single word in my email, while I'm still entertaining her with the context of how my kitchen tap broke off and water shoots through the roof. Instead of saying I'm sorry, I would say I appreciate your assistance and coordination. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this demonstration. I think everyone will find your own novel to edit. Hopefully, you will send in a more concise email after my embarrassing demonstration of my own little tenant story. So you always start with the action item by what is needing to be done, why am I sending this email to everyone? And then you can have another section called context. Why you have this situation is because you didn't order the chemical on time, that's why we need to borrow this from your lab. Thank you very much for your support. Make sure you can say thank you, appreciation, or apology in the very end. Because if you start the email with this tone, first of all, you are not clear. People can lose attention span in a second by just writing the context. People don't know what you are trying to say. But if you just start with, I need chemical, 2 bottles, how many grams from your lab, reason, context, because we are getting into this short of time and we appreciate having this help from you and we'll pay you back with whatever. This is the way people can immediately know and they will say yes or no by replying to you, and it's a more efficient way. And don't hesitate to write clear email, because if we are trying to be not inconveniencing other people by writing overly polite, overly apologetic email, this is only going to inconvenience people by making them spend more time on reading your email, which in the sense is also inconvenience, right? So you need to write better, clearer, unapologetic email, and people will thank you later. And I hope this helps you, and I wish I knew more about this because I wrote novel in my PhD and I have written thousands of words in emails, and I wonder how many people I have confused using that approach, writing emails. If you're learning something today, please make sure to hit the like button so that it really will help me reach more PhD students out there. Comment below, do you use already some of these tips in your daily email writing? Share this with anyone that you're working with so that everyone can progress a little bit more as a scientist. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you the next time.